Did we understand the explanation or should I repeat?
Repeat one.
Okay. 164 is my actual count, which is the real data that I have. But Minitab has given some sort of a prediction. It says that in 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. shift, if there would have been 158 accept, I'm okay with it. And 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift, there are 152 accept, which is a kind of good for me. But it says it should have been 158. What do you think is a good best case scenario?
167.
Sorry?
Morning shift.
Morning.
12
12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
You say morning is good?
Yes.
Yes.
12 p.m. to 7 p.m. is good.
12 p.m. to 7 p.m. is good.
12 to 7 is good because 158 was expected, but we got actual as 164.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even though I have 164, Minitab says even though you had 158 accepted, I would be pretty okay with it, which means it is performing more than expected. Here, the expected was 158 and it is performing 152. Okay. Let's look at the rejects. The reject is 61. Minitab says even though it would have been 67 rejects, it is okay. Here there are 73 rejects in this shift. Minitab says even though it would have been 67, there has to be 67 means, then it's okay. So both from an accept and reject standpoint, it clearly says that 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. shift is performing better than expected, and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift is not performing as per the expectation. So these are the two things that we look at from the chi-square.
Can we use this because it's already like even when we are saying that okay, this one is average. So what it has done is taken the total number and then divided it by 2 to get the average value, and then we are simply saying that okay, this is less than average and this is more than average. But won't that be case in each and every scenario because something will be less than average, that's why something is more than average.
Yeah.
And it's not statistically significant. When we look at the chi-square, it is already telling us that it's not something like we cannot say that it's impacted by each other. So,
Absolutely. Yes, I completely agree with you, Ashwini. I am just sharing an example. I have said if this would have been a significant impacted, then we would look at both to identify which of the shift has a significant impact. Two things what we come to know. First, whether the variable has a significant impact, which is a shift, and out of that, which shift that I need to work upon. That's what Minitab tells. Let's take another example. Stats, tables. Now I'm taking not shift. I am taking another category which is, let's say, tenure. Tenure is also categorical. Okay. P-value is 0.003. What does it say? Rahul, am I audible? Able to hear me? Then Kishore.
It's a null.
It's not a null.
It's less than 0.5, 0.05.
Less than 0.5, Kishore.
It's alternate.
It's an alternate hypothesis, which means the tenure has a significant impact on my average handling time. Okay. Now you look at this expected versus actual. So can someone tell me which of the tenure I need to focus on to improve the HT for this particular X? So can I ask Piyush? Piyush, please help us understand which of these category of tenure that I'll be working on. It seems Piyush and Rahul are facing some troubles.
4+ years.
Sorry, Vasu? Which one?
4+ years.
Okay.
It should be 2 to 4 years, I think.
It can be more than 2 also.
Yeah, 2 to 4 years.
Okay, so let's read it together. 2 to 4 years, the actual value is 141 XF. But Minitab says if it would have been 126, it is okay. When it comes to reject, it is 39. Minitab says you still have a cushion to make 14 more defects. So which means 2 to 4 is doing really well. Correct?
Yeah.
Which means I will not be working on it. My question is, which of these 3 shifts has a significant impact, which means has a problem for which I'll be working on? Which of these?
4+
Now,
years.
4 plus.
4 plus.
4 plus.
Let's see. So 53 accept, it says it should be 63. Okay, good. 37 reject, it says it should be lesser. Okay. 1 to 2 years, let's see.
1 to 2.
1 to 2, 122 hai, 120. Yeah, both. Yeah, both.
Both.
So 2 to 4 is doing really good. Okay. People
1
who
to
have
2 and 4 plus.
so it means, so the story that is making out of the analysis is people who are pretty much new to the system. They are kind of struggling. Okay. People who are highly tenured also, they are also kind of struggling. People who are in the middle between 2 to 4, okay, is doing really well. So all these solutions that I'll be working on, I'll be doing further analysis on between 1 to 2 years category and 4+ year category. Is it clear to all of you?
Simar, one quick question. We see both accept as well as reject parameter, right? We see what is the baseline for accept as well as reject, and what is the actual performance, right?
Yes. And in both the scenarios, Ratna, you would see similar. So here you see, if you are saying 1 to 2 is not doing good, here you would see accept is also impacting and reject is also impacting. It would always happen.
Okay. Okay. So
But
you are
still-
saying
but still-
just because 2 to 4 years has at least one, one of the accept scenario is doing well, it's fine compared to the other two, is how you're drawing your conclusion?
Yes. So 2 to 4 years, I have 141 accept. And this is the actual count. The expected says 126, which means I'm performing better than that. Similarly, in reject also, there are 39 rejects. But Minitab says you still have opportunity to have more 14 rejects. So which means one thing is for sure, that these two tenure has to learn from 2 to 4 years, that they are doing really well. Their accept percentage is also good, and it is significantly better than 4 and 1 and 2.
Okay. But what about reject? Because for reject, the first and third category is doing better, right?
In reject, you see it's 58 rejects here.
Yeah.
How many it should be?
It's 53.6.
Is it a good scenario or a bad scenario?
There
Okay,
are
okay.
more rejection could be.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
It would be opposite. For reject, we have to look for the
Oh,
lesser
okay.
we would be
Okay.
comfortable. In accept,
Mhm.
the higher it would be, the better it would be.
I got it. Yeah.
Let's do one more. Okay.
Simar,
Stats.
right?
Yes, Vasu.
Simar, just want to check. With this data, means, do you have anything practical examples for any manufacturing, and where we can use this to kind of this?
Okay. So if you're talking about manufacturing, you can use any of the metrics from a manufacturing standpoint, which has a discrete sort of a category. So for example, in manufacturing, you have inspection done versus inspection not done. Okay, you have a categorical sort of data, and you have for different cities. Mumbai.
What do you mean by inspection done and inspection not done? If we are not done any inspection, we should not take that, right?
So that's what we want to make a conclusion, that whether inspection done has a significant impact on my problem, why or not. Okay, so let's take an example here. Let's make this data.
Or we can also say whether,
Sorry, I came again back.
whether something that is being produced, whether it passes the quality test or does not pass the quality test.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you can
That would be
use
acceptable.
this to see whether they are different. If let's say there are 3 plants, and we are trying to figure out where is the failure rate, spiking in which plant, and they have got all different rates of production and all that. Then there, I think we can use this.
Absolutely. That is a perfect example, and I just want to re-emphasize on inspection, Vasu. Inspection done or not. Why? Because sometimes we are making a hypothesis that there is a defect because I have not made an inspection. But there could be many scenarios wherein even though if I have made an inspection, still the error has come. Okay? Or could be a possibility I have not made an inspection and the error has not come. So there could be many combinations. So I'll just summarize it for you. So I have two variables: inspection done, inspection not done. Okay, pass, fail, or defect, pass. So I have 100 here. Okay, and there are 30 fail. And where inspection not done, there also I have sort of 80 pass and 30 fail. If this is the sort of data that I have, okay, now if I want to calculate the pass percentage here, let's do total here. So total here is
It is not like that we have to calculate with the same opportunities.
sorry.
It is not like we can take even the opportunity is different, right? Pass 100 and fail 30, inspection not done 80
Yes.
and 30.
I'm just taking an example here. I'm just taking an example here. You can put whatever data you have because it bases on the real data that I have. So inspection done, when you do the inspection, the pass percentage is 73. When you don't do the inspection, the pass percentage is 73. Okay. Now I want to do a chi-square here, and chi-square can be done on the summarized data also. You don't need to plot the entire data. You can do it on the summarized data also. I'll show you the that way also. Now I want to make a conclusion. So pass fail is my, let's say I'm doing a project on improving the accuracy percentage, and pass fail are the two variables. I want to make a conclusion whether the pass fail or whether the accuracy has a significant impact on the inspection done or not. Although looking at this number, there is a 4% variance, but I don't know whether it is statistically significant or not. So that is what I will be doing with the help of chi-square. So let me do it. So I'll select this. I go to Minitab. I'll paste the data here. I go to stats. I go to tables. I go to chi-square. I'm not sure whether this version has it or not. Just let me try. Because the Neo version has this. Yes, it has. It has. So now what does it say? The p-value is 0.454 here. What does it say? Which means inspection done or not doesn't have any significant impact. So somebody made a hypothesis that we have not done the inspection, that's why we're getting a lot of defects. But when we did the test, it came out as p-value as greater than 0.05, which means pass fail has no impact on the sorry, inspection done versus not has no significant impact on pass versus fail. Is it clear?
Yeah, if you increase that 80 around 30, if you in the second scenario 50, then it will show different. Here in 50 it will show.
Are you okay with it now? Should we try with this now?
No. 130 okay, and 80 50 we can keep. Fail is 50.
Should I mention 50 here?
Yeah, and on the top 30. Okay. Yeah. Here you go.
Good. Let's try this. Okay. So as I said, chi-square can be done on the summarized data also. When you have categorized this data like this also. So I put this data here. I go to stats. I go to tables. I go to chi-square test two-way table in worksheet. Okay. Here I mention pass and fail, and there I get the p-value 0.007. So what is that? 0.007. Is it a null or an alternate?
It's alternate.
It's an alternate. So which means inspection has a significant impact on my pass versus fail. So which means now I have significantly proved. Which means the teams who are not doing inspection, probably I will question them and I will ensure there is a process in place. I will come up with some kind of a solutions, some kind of technical or structural solutions wherein there has to be inspection, which means inspection cannot be missed at any case. So that's what we will do with the help of this. Is it clear now?
Yeah, this type of example I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Great. So we have done the chi-square, we have done the correlation. Okay. Now I will talk about the general linear model test. Okay, which talks about whether in case my y is continuous and my x is discrete, what sort of a difference that I will get. Okay. Before I explain this, so I'm going to cover the two sample t test first. Okay. What does two sample t test tell? Can someone recap, summarize it for me, or else I will do it. Just try. What does this test say?
So what it does is for a particular continuous y, it says, okay, is there a difference between two subgroups? So for instance, base 1 or base 2 or product A versus product B. So so is there any statistically significant difference there?
And when we say the statistical difference, we are referring to the average here. Okay, we are referring to the mean here.
Okay.
This is something which I have not talked about, so I'm saying it now. When we do the two sample t test, okay, when we do the two sample t test, in that particular case, when I'm comparing the continuous y with discrete two subgroups, then I'm comparing the average mean of base 1 versus base 2, which means if there is a significant difference of their means, then I would say that there is a significant impact. So it's here I'm taking mean into consideration because it is a normally distributed. Here in case of Mann-Whitney, the same example, I'll be comparing the medians of two different subgroups. So I don't have to do it manually. Minitab will calculate it for me. So that is what I'm comparing here.